Hey there, it's Barb and Jack Moose. Welcome to another Jack Moose Sessions. In fact, this is number 11, and we're thrilled that you could join us. We're going to do some songs from the 1920s, some songs from the 1980s, 1990s maybe. We'll just see where this goes today. We're going to do a little medley right now from the 1920s, and I'll tell you a little bit more about these three songs and why I call them my horse songs. Jack, are you ready to go? I'm ready. You gonna lie down? Ain't she sweet, just a-walking down the street? Yes, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. Yes, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? Oh, I repeat, don't you think she's kinda neat? Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Just cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? Well, ain't she sweet, just a-walking down the street? Yes, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Oh, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain, the third is the roses that grow in the lane. No, 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 no need explaining. The one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. Baby face, you've got the cutest little baby face. There's not another who could take your place. Baby face, my poor heart is thumping. You sure have started something, baby face. I'm up in heaven when I'm in your fond embrace. I didn't need a shove, 'cause I just fell in love with your pretty baby face. The horse trio of songs. I know there was not a horse mentioned in any of those. Why the heck would I call it that? Well, I'll tell you. Last fall I was invited back to play for a potluck dinner for a group of lovely folks from the East Ridge Presbyterian Church. And they always hold this potluck dinner at the K&B Stables just outside of Lincoln. And it's a lovely setting, and as its name implies, they board horses for people. And as we set up outside for me to play, I looked over and noticed that the horse corral, probably about 50 feet away, there were two of the most beautiful chestnut draft horses, just kind of parading around in there doing their own thing at the other end of the corral. So I started playing that medley of songs, and I noticed the audience, which was seated right in front of me, they kept glancing over toward the horse corral. And I didn't look at the time, but I wondered what the heck was going on over there. I finished the songs from the 1920s, and I looked over, and the horses were standing just as close as they could get to me, with their chests resting on the fence, just staring at me. And as soon as I finished and looked over at them, they kind of gave one of those little horse things with their heads like, and then they took off for the other end of the corral, and they never came back. My logical conclusion after doing a scientific study, which cost absolutely no money at all, was that horses prefer songs from the 1920s. Don't you think? We're going to move on to a tune by Cheryl Wheeler called Howl at the Moon. And I love this song because she wrote it while watching her dog sleep. And we have a perfect example of that here. We always used to encourage at our gigs when we would do this that our crowds could help us out, because even though they might not be familiar with the song, they certainly would be familiar with the words "Howl at the Moon," and that was in the chorus. So whenever they heard us do the chorus, we wanted them to act like dogs and go, "Arr!" We have some great audio of crowds howling along with us, so I encourage you to do that too. During the chorus, I'll sing "Howl at the Moon," and I want you to release your inner child and go, "Arr! Arr, 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 arr." However you feel a dog would go. Might even be a little coyote. If I were maybe a wolf or a dog, I wouldn't have to speak, I wouldn't have to talk. Just eat my dinner and go for a walk and howl at the moon. I'd howl at the moon. I'd howl at the moon. And if I were laying there just like you, all stretched out the way dogs do, I'd dream that you're dreaming too, and I'd howl at the moon. I'd howl at the moon. I'd howl at the moon. Oh, you know things I don't know. You go places I can't go. You lift your head when the breezes blow to voices older than time. I'll keep you close so I like you near. I'll touch your head, I'll scratch your ear. I'll watch you resting while I sit here and howl at the moon. I'll howl at the moon. I'll howl at the moon. I'll watch you resting while I sit here and howl at the moon. Cheryl Wheeler, and thank you for allowing me to do that. I really appreciate it. She's very generous with her works, and the person I contacted about doing it said she just loves hearing people interpret her works, so yeah, you can do it, so thank you. Were you howling? I hope so. Let's do a tune about a fox. This is a traditional tune that's been around for a very long time. Nobody knows for sure when, but there's a version of it in England, and then it was brought to the New World with the settlers, and it's just about a dad trying to provide for his family. Well, a fox went out on a chilly night. He prayed for the moon to give him light. He'd many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. He'd many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh. He ran till he came to the farmer's pen. The ducks and the geese were kept therein. He said, a couple of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. A are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town, oh. He grabbed the gray goose by the neck, he threw the duck across his back. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, oh. Well, the old gray woman jumped out of bed. Out of the window she popped her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone, the fox is on the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. John, John, the gray goose is gone, the fox is on the town, oh. He ran till he came to his nice warm den, and there were the little ones, 8, 9, 10, saying, Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. It must be a mighty fine town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. It must be a mighty fine town, oh. The fox and his wife, without any strife, they cut up the goose with a fork and knife. They never had such a supper in their life. The little ones chewed on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. They never had such a supper in their life. The little ones chewed on the bones, oh. The fox went out on a chilly night. He prayed for the moon to give him light, for he'd many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. He'd many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh. The fox. We actually have foxes around here in our neighborhood. Saw one going down the street in broad daylight about a month and a half ago, and sometimes when I'm out with Jack Moose in the backyard at night, maybe around midnight doing last call for him, you can look and see a fox across the street, sometimes even a coyote. Even though we live in town, we're never very far from the wild side. Speaking of the wild side, several years ago, well, about 10 years ago, there was something making the rounds on the internet about distractions and how easily people get distractions. It was probably about 2 paragraphs long, and it just made me laugh. So I took that little thing. It wasn't a song, but it is now. I added a lot to it and gave it a tune, and I originally called it My Disorder, but recently, because a word has resurfaced in my vocabulary that I just love, thanks to a certain friend of mine who used it in a text to me earlier this year. The word is kerfuffle. You can look it up. I'd heard it years ago, and I don't know where, but it just reignited a love for that word. Kerfuffle. It means, a quandary. I don't understand what's going on. It's just a puzzlement. But kerfuffle sounds better, so I've renamed the song in her honor. My Kerfuffle. You'll see what it's about. And I think we all suffer from it. My kerfuffle is apparent as I do my daily chores. I could blame my multitasking mind, but perhaps it's something more. Just let me take you through my day. It soon will be apparent. You will see what I'm concerned about. It makes my thoughts so errant. It starts out quite normally as I walk out to check my garden, where I notice that my plants, they sure could use a little water. When I grab the hose to turn it on, I chance to see my car. It could really use a good wash, and the water's not too far. Then my eye is caught by something that is there upon the porch. It's the mail from yesterday. I never took it in the house, so I decide to sort the junk mail out before I wash the car. But the trash can's really full, so I had better take it out. But the trash is near the mailbox, and I have some bills to pay. Well, I might as well just pay them, 'cause the mailman comes today. I walk inside and grab my checkbook. Oh my gosh, there's one check left. But I know I have some extras in the drawer by the desk. So I walk into the study where my desk is now in sight. There I see the can of Pepsi I'd been drinking just last night. Focus, Barb, just focus. You're really after checks. But first I'll move the Pepsi so it doesn't get upset. As I move the can aside, I notice that it's almost full. If I put it in the fridge, it should be cold by later on. I head toward the kitchen, where I see a vase of flowers on the counter that need water, so I put the Pepsi down. As I lift the vase and fill it, there's the remote for the TV. I'd better put it back where it belongs, that much is plain to see. But in my haste I've tipped the flowers, now there's water everywhere. I toss the remote back on the counter, grab some towels and wipe the floor. Now the part that I just cleaned, well, it looks different from the rest. I should really do the whole floor, yes, I think that would be best. And while I have the mop out, I'll just do the entryway. But I glance outside the door and see some leaves that should be raked. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock now, and my day is really shot. I know that I've been busy. How come not a thing got done? I'm sipping a warm Pepsi, thinking of all the plans I'd made. And I'd like to watch some TV, but the remote seems to have strayed. I realize my problem's serious. Do I need some therapy? Or maybe just a self-help book? I think I saw one on TV. Perhaps I'd find one on the web, but I'd better check my email. Now where'd I leave my glasses? Oh, won't someone help me, please? My kerfuffle. Thank you for joining us for Jack Moose Sessions number 11. We will see you next week for number 12. A dozen is always a nice round number. Jack, I woke you up and you have to say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye, Jack. Have a good week and a wonderful weekend. Be careful. Be kind to everyone. Take a moment before you say something. Think what you're saying and how it might affect someone. So, everybody, be safe. Bye.